A poor single parent is not needed. The bank doesn't have time to deal with poor clients like you. Just go ahead and close your meager accounts.
Mara and her mother sneered at us with a mocking grin. Mom, let's close the account.
We'll go to the bank tomorrow and discuss properly closing the account.
As promised, the next day we went to the bank to close the account. My name is Madeline Sulk. I am at 20. I'm working as part of the opening staff at a newly built nursing home, along with my 46-year-old mother. However, my mother's job as a care worker is not her main job. She is the chairperson of the medical welfare group that manages several nursing homes. Currently, she's helping out temporarily at the new nursing home because it's short-staffed until we can gather more care worker applicants. My grandmother initially led this medical welfare group as the chairperson. 5 years ago, when she was 70 years old, she retired due to old age. My mother, who had been the director of one of the nursing homes, took over the chairpersonship following my grandmother's retirement. It's been only 5 years since my mother became the chairperson of the medical welfare group. To support my busy mother, I didn't go to college, but started working on site after high school graduation. While I was busy, I was living fulfilling days. My grandmother founded the medical welfare group at 30 and expanded the business significantly after the introduction of long-term care insurance in 2000. My grandmother, who gained attention in the welfare industry as an accomplished female president, lost my grandfather to illness shortly after giving birth to my mother. My father also passed away when I was young, so our family of 3 women has been supporting each other. Now, I want to expand the business that my grandmother built along with my mother, the current chairperson. With that in mind, I was working hard at the newly established nursing home. One day, I received a postcard at home announcing my alma mater's reunion. Since my mother and I graduated from the same school, we received 2 copies. The postcard, in poppy lettering, read, "All graduates of New Green Girls School, let's gather." Mom, what's this postcard? It's so colorful, I exclaimed, snatching it from her hand. A reunion. You must be 20 years old or older to participate in the reunion. I only graduated from middle school, but I got one too. Well, I'm excited. Our alma mater is a well-known local girls' school, often referred to as a prestigious institution. I entered the middle school because I like my mother's alma mater and cute school uniform. However, the special environment of a girls' school did not suit me, so I went to another high school. Still, I have good friends from those middle school days. I was separated from my friends at a different high school, so I was glad to see them at the reunion. But my mother seems to be different.
If you want to go, then go ahead. I won't be attending.
I've never seen you attend a reunion. This year, I'll be there too. Let's go together.
I'm not going. I don't have a single good memory from my school days.
She looked so downcast that I became worried and peered into her face. What's wrong with you? Did something bad happen?
Well, yeah, but it's all in the distant past.
As her daughter, I shouldn't know about any bad experiences my mother had in high school. And she wouldn't be complaining to me now. I thought it unnecessary to ask her out, but I couldn't help expressing my concern. If there's someone nasty, you should just fight back. I hate to see you carrying such a painful past alone.
Fight back? No, that's just unthinkable.
I gave my mother a teasing smile as she looked at me in surprise. Maybe fight back was exaggerated, but don't you wonder, maybe the person who was mean to you back then is having a hard time now, or the one who bragged about being stylish has gained a lot of weight. She probably wondered why I bother confirming such a thing. My mother frowned at first, but then her expression lightened.
You're right, Madeline. I am a bit curious about what that girl is doing now. I wonder if she's still arrogant and has built her family with that attitude.
Mom, you're the chairperson of the medical welfare group now. You've grown a lot since high school, so be more confident. Your situation is totally different from when you were troubled by nasty classmates. Hearing my words, my mother's face brightened.
Yes, it's been 28 years since those days. I shouldn't be tied down by the past forever.
So she decided to go to the reunion. I'll be with you, so I'll protect you if anything happens.
Thank you. Let's go shopping for reunion outfits on our next day off.
And so, both my mother and I decided to attend the reunion. Despite what I said to Mother, there was someone I didn't want to see. She is Mara Norwood. She was a wealthy family, her grandfather a bank executive and her father a regional bank president. Mara would approach classmates who seemed weaker than herself, make them her followers, or look down on them while endlessly boasting about herself. She was nicknamed Princess, and some classmates clearly avoided her. I treated Mara normally, not overly submissive, but this seemed to irritate her. She has been looking for a topic and talking to me in a condescending attitude.
That pencil case looks pretty cheap. Where did you buy it? How much was it?
At a store near the station for $3.
What? $3? I never knew there were pencil cases that cheap. Mine is a designer goods. Daddy bought it for $200.
While saying this, Mara once flaunted her expensive pencil case in front of me.
That's nice.
I responded with a wry smile, and Mara sneered, saying,
I heard from my mom that you're from a single-parent family, right? It must be tough without a dad, having to use a $3 pencil case. So, what does your mom do?
She works at a nursing home.
At a nursing home. Taking care of old men and women, right? I can't believe people do such a dirty and smelly job.
I can't forget the scornful look Mara gave me at that moment.
Oh yeah, your mother only has jobs people don't do, because your family is poor.
Nursing is a tough but necessary job, and I respect my grandmother and mother who find their calling in it. Doesn't Mara ever think that she or her family might need such care when they get old? From that day, I stopped interacting with Mara. Then, other classmates began to speak unkind words to me.
That girl, she doesn't have a father, right? She's so poor. She can't buy what she wants. And her mom does that dirty and smelly job.
Mara must have told the other classmates about me being raised by a single parent. Some friends I thought were good friends stopped talking to me because they were worried about Mara's eyes. On the other hand, people who didn't think well of her told me a lot of bad things about her and asked me to agree. You think so, don't you? Tired of this girl group dynamic, I decided to go to a different high school. I never told my busy mother about this until now. And then, on the day of the reunion, I took a deep breath with my mother before entering the venue. The reunion was a standing-up party, but tables were organized by age group. My mother and I headed to our respective tables. My mother seemed to have met a friend right away, saying, "Long time no see. How have you been? It's been a while." "I'm good, but work has been busy and tiring lately." Her voice sounded happy. I was glad we came together. As I approached my table, I heard a shrill woman's voice.
I thought there was a poorly dressed woman here, and it was you.
I turned to look at someone's loud voice in surprise and found my mother tangled with a woman in a fancy dress. One of Mom's friends arguing in her defense.
Everyone has changed since then.
Exactly. Looking down on people and laughing is so immature.
The woman looked at me as I ran to my mother and said,
"Oh, the cheeky daughter is here too."
I saw the woman up close and knew immediately who she was. It was Mara's mother. I had heard that Mara's mother was an alumna, but I never realized she was my mother's classmate. Then Mara, resembling her mother, approached me.
"Wow, Madeline, you only finished middle school. How could you attend? Did you pay the reunion fee?"
Mara said with a grin. Her mother chimed in.
"It's such a disgrace when poor people like you ruin a glamorous event."
As I bit my lip in frustration, my mother boldly retorted,
Enough with the condescension. It's been 28 years since high school. We've all worked hard and built our lives, which are completely different now. Besides, I am a client at your bank, Kate.
As soon as they heard my mother's words, Mara and her mother started laughing.
"What? A poor single parent is a client at our bank? Don't make me laugh. How much have you deposited? A few $1,000s, or just a few hundred?"
Without bothering us, Mara started talking, but I couldn't believe her words.
"A poor single parent is not needed. The bank doesn't have time to deal with poor clients like you. Just go ahead and close your meager accounts."
The friends and classmates around were shocked by the outrageous behavior of Mara and her mother. Angered by their arrogance, I impulsively said to Mom, "Let's close the account."
"Oh, your daughter is very understanding."
Mara's mother looked down on me and smiled invincibly. "We don't want to deposit our money in the bank where people judge others based on their family situation," I stated firmly, and Mara and her mother looked at each other and burst into laughter again.
"That's right. Poor people should hold on to every penny they have, right?"
My mother sighed at their continued laughter and said, "Tomorrow, we'll go to the bank to discuss closing the account," but it seemed they weren't listening. We briefly greeted our close friends and left the reunion early to talk about our school days over dinner. After my mother contacted the bank the next day, we both went there. We met with the bank representative and the branch manager, as well as Mara's father, who is the president of the regional bank.
"I am terribly sorry for the rude behavior of my wife and daughter. I will make sure to speak to them firmly, so please reconsider closing the account."
When the president said that, 3 men also begged us. Scolding them is not the point, I said with a sigh, pulling out my phone and placing it on the reception desk.
"What? A poor single parent is a client at our bank? Don't make me laugh. How much have you deposited? A few $1,000s, or just a few hundred?"
"A poor single parent is not needed. The bank doesn't have time to deal with poor clients like you. Just go ahead and close your meager accounts."
The phone played the recording of Mara and Kate mocking words from the previous day. Hearing the audio, the bank president's face turned even paler.
After being treated like this by Kate and Mara, we cannot continue our business with your bank.
However, our families have been in business since your grandmother started her company.
The president pleaded, and my mother calmly replied,
Sure, and if my mother didn't have a close relationship with you guys, I would have canceled earlier, because I was harassed a lot by Kate when I was a student.
I had heard about Mom's school experiences during our dinner the night before, and the harassment from Kate mirrored Mara's behavior towards me. It was truly a case of like mother, like daughter. It was clear why Mother had been reluctant to attend the reunion.
We wanted an apology from them, not just from you.
Well, my wife and daughter are a bit difficult.
The president probably felt that having Kate and Maria in this discussion would be even more troublesome. He seemed to be looking for a way to calm the situation without escalating it further. At that moment, the reception room door swung open.
How dare you record my voice? That's sneaky.
What are you going to do with it? Go to a lawyer or the police.
Both of you, I told you not to come in. Stay outside.
The bank president hastily tried to shoo them away, but my mother told him,
There's no need to send them out. I wanted to hear directly from them.
The bank president reluctantly let them stay.
As if it matters if a poor single parent closes their account. Our bank gains nothing. This meeting is a waste of time.
Why does Dad apologize to these people? Just go ahead and close the account.
The president hastily stopped Kate from criticizing my mother as a poor single parent.
Do you know who this person is? She's the chairperson of that medical welfare group. Our bank's top client.
After the president shouted at them, I am very sorry that my wife and daughter are so ignorant and have been so rude. The president urged them to apologize to me and my mother. They didn't even understand why they were being scolded.
Do you two know at medical welfare group, which I run?
My mother asked, and Kate made an annoyed face.
A hospital. So you're bragging because you're the chairperson.
Hearing this, I was astonished at her ignorance, and my mother looked appalled.
It's not a hospital, but a corporation managing 80 care facilities nationwide. Our corporation's funds, totaling $200 million, are all deposited in this bank. We came here to close all those accounts.
My mother explained, but Kate seemed to catch only parts of the conversation. Mara looked utterly confused.
$200 million. But how? You're just a poor single parent.
Next to the dumbfounded Kate, the president looked like he was about to cry.
That's why I've been saying she's our most important client. If she closes her account, we lose $200 million in deposits, which would be a massive loss. And if everyone from a medical welfare group closes their accounts, the damage will be unimaginable.
What? That's really bad.
Have you just realized that now?
What? What have we done?
Finally grasping the gravity of the situation, Kate and Mara's complexions changed as if they were about to faint. Just then, a bank employee knocked on the door. A flustered bank employee was whispering something to the bank president.
No way. This is the end.
As the president collapsed to his knees in shock, Mara panicked.
Dad, what's wrong?
The employee then spoke up.
Some individuals claiming to be alumni of New Green Girls School have been calling to discuss closing their accounts.
Hearing this, Kate and Mara hurried out of the reception room. The trouble seemed far from us now.
Kate and Mara looked down on me as a poor single parent, without any sign of remorse. The president didn't show any sincere apology or effort. We cannot trust such a bank. Please proceed with closing our accounts immediately.
Yes. I'm terribly sorry. We'll start the account closure process right away.
Overwhelmed by my mother's sword fight, the president couldn't hide his agitation and ordered the branch manager to prepare documents. I was horrified to think that I had ever deposited important funds in such a sloppy bank. As we left the reception room after finalizing the account closure, we saw alumni from yesterday's reunion confronting Kate and Mara.
In high school, we were too scared to oppose Kate, but things are different now.
I run a company and have many business contacts. I've already advised them against using this bank.
Though we couldn't see Kate and Mara in the crowd, their apologies were audible. a friend noticed my mother and rushed over.
Sorry about yesterday. We couldn't stand up to Kate when she was so horrible to you.
It wasn't just yesterday. We've always been too scared to speak up against Kate in high school.
My mother had tears in her eyes when she saw a friend who cared and apologized.
It's not your fault. I've always been too scared of Kate, too.
This incident seemed to deepen the friendship between my mother and her friends. The classmates who had been afraid to speak up against Kate finally found her behavior intolerable after her remarks yesterday.
If you have time to apologize profusely, just go ahead and close my account.
Please proceed with closing the accounts of these people.
Mara and Kate said this and explained it to the bank employees, but they looked very bothered. The process was slow, and the two sat in discomfort for a long time. Afterward, the bank, having lost many customers, decided to change its president. The president's wife, Kate, and their daughter, Mara, who had lived arrogantly surrounded by followers, found themselves alone. Despite the loss of the main breadwinner's job, Mara and Kate's spending habits remained unchanged, leading to financial difficulties. The former president had long been in leadership. Mara had no work or household skills, and Kate had never even held a part-time job. The three couldn't find a decent job. Even the jobs they found ended quickly in termination. They even came to the nursing home where I work for a job interview. Caregiving jobs are short-staffed, so we don't reject applicants unless something happens.
I heard you would hire someone my age. Please, give me a job.
Please, we'll do anything. Just give us work.
Please, we're struggling.
But of course, my mother's response was,
We cannot hire those who looked down on caregiving work.
We turned away Mara and Kate, who left dejectedly. Later, Kate became reclusive. The former president developed dementia, and Mara dropped out of college to care for them both. Sometime after hearing these rumors, a gaunt Mary appeared before me.
I apologize for the past. I'm sorry. Please forgive my ignorance. I didn't understand how hard caregiving work is. It's so challenging even with my own parents, and now I greatly respect those who can care for others in the caregiving profession.
But it was too late for such realizations. If you and your family had realized this earlier, you wouldn't be in this predicament and could have enjoyed your later years in a luxury nursing facility. Upon hearing this, Mara broke down in tears in public. A year after our last meeting, there was an inquiry from someone seeking a place in the nursing home. Wait, Kate Norwood, could it be? To my surprise, the application confirmed it was indeed Kate seeking admission. When I saw Kate for the first time in a year, she looked old enough to be a different person. But even more unusual was her attendant, Mara. She appeared so aged beyond her 20s that one probably wouldn't recognize her if I saw her on the street. Facing such a tragic figure, I had to deliver the harsh truth. You're looking for a place to stay, but we currently have no vacancies, and there's a long waiting list, so immediate admission is difficult. Mara's eyes widened at my words. Her eyes were as if tears were falling.
Can't you make an exception? My mother's condition is worsening faster than my father's. She's started wandering, and I can't manage alone.
Mara's tears overflowed as she described her dire situation. But my answer remained firm. There's nothing we can do. Mara hung her head and left with Kate, who was speaking incomprehensibly. That was the last time I was involved with the Norwood family. Meanwhile, my mother and I continue to work hard at the medical welfare group and the understaffed nursing home. To support my mother, I am working hard as a staff member at the nursing home today as well. I am striving for the day I can succeed her as the chairperson, diligently focusing on the tasks at hand.